Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week number 7 of this WNBA season. I'm Julian Quintero Verano here on behalf of Megacity Basketball. My cameraman for today is my boy, Evan Rudenberg. We're going to be having a fantastic game for you today as we have Bodega taking on Old But Cold as we get up ready for the tip-off of this game. I do want to come out and say this is technically not the first game of the slate today. So there was an interesting conversation, didn't really know what was happening, but in the way that things ended up turning out, the result is this. Free Minds played against the members-only team, and members only were awarded the win via forfeit. They did play a very, very fun little scrimmage here, and we got to watch it. It was enjoyable. But in the end, ladies and gentlemen, it is a forfeit on behalf of the Free Minds team. Members only get awarded a win to go to 2-5. Meanwhile, the Free Mind side falls to 3-4 on the season. Here, though, we have Bodega, who will be taking on Old But Cold. Bodega are 4-2 in the year. Old But Cold 3-3. So Old But Cold are going to be fighting to try to make it to 500. And so we'll see how they end up going with this one. They want to try to get out of the 500 hole is the goal for this Old But Cold side. Meanwhile, for Bodega, they're going to try to go to 5-2 on their season. They've been very, very fun to watch right now. Old But Cold currently on the break. Out on the court for them right now, we have Jill. We got D, who, again, very deadly from 3. On top of that, we got Ray, Cooley, Julie, and Rachel. That is the lineup at the moment for the Old But Cold side. And right there, ball gets ripped, ball gets stolen in favor for this Bodega side, who now have the ball, and they will be the ones taking control now. Right now on the ball, we have Julia, along with Tamaya, Hannah, Kat, and Jessica. That is the lineup they have on the court right now. Kat lines up, isn't able to get the shot off, doesn't like it, gives it to Hannah. They play a 1-2 inside, but Kat cannot hold on to the ball there, and in the end, it ends up becoming a fumbled possession. Score is sitting at 2-2. Jill now gives it over to D. D's been a sniper from 3 all season. Got to be very wary from that. Ray kicks it now over to Cooley, Julie. Julie gets a nice little rip through, able to swing it across to Jill. Jill with the fader. Oh, Hannah comes all the way over. Jill's able to bail out right after, but instead the ball gets tipped out. Now they're on the break. Ball goes up to Hannah, though, and Bodega are able to answer back with 2 points there, taking the lead here. We have 19:40 remaining on the game clock. Jill swings it to D. D's going to give it inside now to Rachel. Rachel back out to Ray. Thinks about the midi. Won't go. Cooley, Julie. Over to Jill. And Jill's able to get the jumper. No problem. No harm, no foul. Ball now heads over to the corner. We got Tamaya. Gives it inside to Hannah. Hannah able to win the loose ball, has 2 defenders on her and goes right back up, but Bodega's Hannah, she's able to tuck in 2 more points there. She's been one of the best defensive presence and one of the best post players in the league this season, so she's definitely going to be a player to watch all across this game. Big part of why Bodega has been as successful as they have. Really, they have a fantastic all-around team, and it's shown throughout this season. D gives it inside to Ray. Right there, they lose it. And now Bodega could potentially go on the break. Kat has it, ends up giving it up to Julia. Julia gives it over to Jessica. Jessica swings it back over to Julia. Lobs it back to the corner where Jessica sits. Whole pass across to Tamaya. Tamaya goes through the teeth of the defense. Ray goes up for the contest, and the shot ends up being missed. Ray picks it out now to Jill. Jill on this left side goes right at Jessica behind the back, going all around the defender, kicks it to the corner for D. D, 4-3. She's been electric from range this season, and that gives Old But Cold the 1-point lead so far. What a player she's been up to this point. Fly gives it back up to Julia. There is another ball on the court right now as we're playing at the Hoop Dome. If anyone here is listening and they want to come out and play basketball with your friends, you want to run 2s, you got a basketball league you want to play in, or if you just want to come on out and support the WMBA and other of the Mega City leagues, be sure and feel free coming out to Hoop Dome. You can play basketball here with your friends. You got to be able to obviously get a session in, but either way, it's super nice, great facilities all around. Highly recommended if you or your friends who want to run basketball one of these days. Missed there from Bodega once again on offense, and there's Jill now trying to dance through this defense. Swings it over to Julie. Julie squares up and launches from three. Won't go. Ball gets tipped around and ends up in the hands of Julia. Julia gives it now to Tamaya. Tamaya gives a little pass inside to Hannah. Hannah setting up in the post. Goes right at Ray. Tough lay-in, and it bounces out. Doesn't get the lucky bounce there. Rage is the one that ends up pulling in the board. And now she's running the tempo. Kicks it to the corner. Kicks it to the corner. It's Jill Stratton. Jill squares up, chooses to dump it over to Ray. Ray says, you know what, I'm taking the midi. Call the bank, ladies and gentlemen, because it's open right now as Old But Cold tack on 2 more points and get a 3-point lead here. Big plays there from Old But Cold early on. Still quite a bit of basketball, but it's nice to see them able to get it going early. Julia gives it a Cat, who launches from 3 and answers right back for Bodega. They're able to tie up this game, and it's been very exciting so far between both these sides. Julia causes Jill to lose it. A little bit of a switch action there. And yeah, we can tell right here they're running a bit of a zone defense. That's the style of play we're seeing from this Bodega side. Old But Cold able to break down the zone, force them really to get the ball moving, and that's what they did. They usually have someone step up to the open shooter. Tamaya gives it over to Julia, launches for 3. It's short on the rim, picked up by Raylan. Raylan has Hannah over to contest, but isn't able to lose the ball and is not able to poke it out. And now Jill's the one with it. What is she going to do? Going to swing it now over to the right corner. You have D, 4-3. No, won't go. After a little bit of a scramble there, it ends up in the hands of Jessica. Jessica looking for a teammate, swings it over to Tamaya for 3. That one doesn't fall. Now it's been on the break. Julia comes storming down the court over to Jill into Ray, and a wonderful spin move on the reception from the pass by Ray. Great footwork by the center, essentially, of this Old But Cold side. Wonderful start from Ray, really challenging down low. Bodega able to get it inside, get a 3-shot open, and that one is for Tamaya. Able to splash home from 3 to cut it to just a 1-point deficit. Jill gives it over to D. D now, Julia is the one that ends up coming over to Swarm. Rachel wins it, swims it back over. Then it's to Ray, and Rachel goes unblocked. What a play, and that's the start of the block party today. That one's gonna be for Kat. Wonderful play from her, as now we're seeing some substitutions. Desiree coming on for Hannah in regards to this Bodega side. Meanwhile, for Old But Cold, we got Rachel, Ray, and Julie all coming out. Laura coming on. Becky, who hasn't been here for a couple weeks, but she's back this week, and it's great to see her. She's on the court, and also one of the best players in the league, an electric player to watch, Dakota White, here today. And speaking of which, able to find Jill Stratton. And Old But Cold splash home 3 more right there. The water is icy right now, and not on the way that they're missing. It's just they have it in their veins. Wonderful play so far from this Old But Cold side. The jumper from Desiree doesn't go. Laura's able to tip it, but it ends up going to Kat. Kat ends up tipping into Jessica, and the play ends up in the hands of Kat. Doesn't go. Tamaya has it, flips it now over to Julia for 3. It bounces around once again, won't go, and Becky's the one that pulls it in. The play now ends, and it's going to be Old But Cold on the break. Jill has it now, going to take the screen from D. Tries to go between 3 defenders, won't go, and now it's Tamaya now. The steal from Deed won't go, and able to go all the way on the other side is Tamaya. She finds Desiree, who's able to tuck 2 points in here for the Bodega side. Dakota White flips it out now to Jill Stratton, launches for 3, and she's just been electric today. My goodness, what a start to the game Jill Stratton's been having. What a way it's been for this Old But Cold side. They need a win to get out of the 500 purgatory, and with the Free Minds forfeit loss earlier, going to 4-3 just might really help them out in their chase for a playoff spot. Ball goes up, and it ends up going in favor of the Bodega side. Nice little make that was by Jessica with a little floater play. Jill kicks it over to D. D is an electric player from 3. Drives in, gives it to Becky. Becky able to slow it down kicks it out to the corner to Dakota. Won't go, and Jill's the one that ends up pulling it in. Gives it back inside of Becky. Becky over to D. D thinks about it instead, gives it back over to Becky, who pulls from the line and just won't get it to go. Wasn't that far out, but just did not get enough air under it, and that's where it ends up going. Tamaya is going to be subbing off now for Hannah for this Body Bodega side. Julia now gives it over to Kat. Apologies, I mean, Kat gave it over to Julia, and then Julia did give it back to Kat. So, hey, it ended up working out. And as 3 goes up, and it's a big bounce there for the Body Bodega side, but they're able to get it to go. Jessica with a lot of elevation off the rim, that shot was, and it ends up going for Body Bodega, but Dakota able to answer right back quickly for this Old McCold side to reestablish their lead. Julia now kicks to Jessica. Jessica thinking about who she can swing it to. Gives it inside to Desiree. Desiree has the defender out the hip. Goes up, blocked by Becky Nash. Becky with a massive play there defensively, able to swat it away. Now with some substitutions being made, I was getting very excited about that play. We got Julie and Rachel coming on for Jill and Dee. Wide open in the corner, though, is Jessica, who scored one just before. Call it back-to-back threes for Body Bodega. Jessica now 6 points back-to-back on the last 2 possessions for the Bodega side. She has been fantastic. Julie gives it inside to Rachel. Rachel now finds Dakota. Dakota to Becky. Becky tries to give it inside to Rachel in the post, but it doesn't go their way. And now Body Bodega is going to be regaining possession. Dakota's going to be sizing up Julia from essentially half court. Won't go. Ball ends up over to Jessica, who tries getting the incision pass. It doesn't go. And now is going to give it over to Dakota. Dakota able to toss it up slightly to her teammate. And coolly, Julie keeps her cool and able to get 2 points there to reestablish the Old but Cold lead. It's been a close one so far, folks. Julia gives it inside to Hannah. Hannah thinks about it and ends up dumping it back over to Julia. Julia goes right into the teeth of the defense, able to kick it out to the corner. Ball ends up going around, and it's a jumper, and it swirls out by Kat. He gives it over to Becky, and Becky now over to Dakota. As the Old but Cold side able to now give it over to Becky. Becky kicks it to Julie. Julie, Dakota. 2 defenders sizing up. Dakota goes right at him. Doesn't get it to go, though. Kat's the one that ends up picking up. Able to kick it up? No. Julia to Kat. Kat to Hannah. Hannah back inside to Kat. But once again, the little slip screen play between Hannah and Kat just does not end up going for them. And Old but Cold able to pull it in. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We have a little bit of a timeout break here, and it's been exciting, so you do not want to miss it, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, for some more WMBA basketball. Ball goes to Ray. Ray ends up getting tipped, and Kat's the one that pulls it in. Plays a long ball to Jessica, who just isn't able to track it down and get there. That is a long bomb Hail Mary style, and it just doesn't go in their favor. Right now out there for Old but Cold, we have Kayla, who just subbed on number 3 right there. No, there's a stoppage of play there. Actually, no, it's just a turnover called here against Old but Cold. Really interesting to see where that one ends up going for. Yeah, Julia, Kat, Hannah, Desiree, and Jessica all on the court right now for Bodega. Now for Old Cold, we got Dakota, Cooley, Julie. Julie's in it there right now. Along with her, we have Kayla, who just went up for it and wasn't able to get it. Rachel and Ray on the court for this Old Cold side. Ball goes inside of Hannah. Hannah thinks about it and goes up with the post move, doesn't get it to go, and Ray's the one that pulls it in and is now running the break. Running the break for his Old Cold side, gives it over to Rachel. Rachel thinks about it, ends up going back to the top where Kayla sits. Kayla from the free throw line isn't able to get the jumper to go. Frustrated, you can see from Kayla now working on her form. Yeah, it was a tough miss to see there for her. Julia to Kat. Kat gives it over to Jessica in the corner. Jessica launches from three! And Bodega answer back once more. Another massive shot there from Jessica. My goodness. They've been electric today from three. You can't really leave anybody open. Everybody's been seemingly hitting their shots. Ball bounces around. Ray able now give it over to the corner. Corner to Julie. Julie back inside of Ray. Ray launched it from the midi and is able to answer right back to tie up this game at 25. Julia gives it up to Jessica. Jessica, you cannot give her space for the three, and she launches once more, and this one just doesn't fall for her. It gets tipped around. Seeing who the referee ends up ruling it out on. They do rule it out on Hannah. As Ray now inbounds it for the Old Cold side. Dakota gives it over to Kayla. Kayla back up to Dakota, who swings it back over to Kayla. Kayla thinks about it. Thinks about it here on the left wing. Skips, gives it over to Julia. Julia all over to Ray. Ray with the little running post hook doesn't go. Julie able to tip it. Instead it ends up in the hands of Hannah, who's able to now give it to Kat. Kat, they're running the break once again. Bodega have been playing a very, very fun transition style. Get the ball up quick, get the ball in long. But in the end, it's just a bit too long, those passes, and it's led to some turnovers that I think Bodega is kind of bummed out that they've not been able to capitalize on. Jill and Dee now coming on for Rachel, and I want to say Becky. No, sorry, for Ray. Coming up, yeah, Jill and Dee coming on for Ray and Rachel. That is what the substitution is made. Ball goes out of bounds, but it will still be Old Cold ball. Kayla gives it over to Dee. Dee thinks about it and swings it over to Dakota. Dakota goes straight to the hole, almost gets tangled up, and gives it to Dee from three, but it doesn't convert there. Kat to Hannah. Hannah to Julia now, who thinks about it here on the left wing. Dumps it inside to Hannah. She thinks about it. Goes up, bounces up and down, doesn't get it to go, and now the ball ends up going to Dakota. Dakota back over to Julie. Julie into Kayla. Kayla covered by Hannah. Isn't able to break through, but does keep possession. Ends up dumping it inside. Wonderful vision to get it over to Jill Stratton as the Old Cold side tack on two more to retake the lead. Julia able to give it now to Kat. Kat lays it off to Hannah. Hannah goes right at him in the post, goes right underneath the rim and able to get it. Tenacious on offense is what Hannah's been, but they're running a quick break. Ball into Dee. Dee back out to Jill. Jill swings it over to Dakota, who launches from three. She's left open, and that's why you can't afford to do that. Dakota White from three from range. A wonderful shot from her here as we sit at 6 minutes remaining in this first half. Kat dumps inside of Hannah. Hannah thinks about it, goes up with a little shot, isn't able to get it to go, goes back up with it this time, and she's able to get it there as Bodega tacks on two to make it a 1 point deficit. Dakota gives it over to Jill. Jill gets called for a travel, and Jill right here pointing at her foot. Boss, ref, my foot did not leave the ground. What are you talking about right there? Look at that, they're still going, ref. Come on, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what we want to see. But in the end, it is interesting to see how it turns out. Another timeout gets called, ladies and gentlemen. It is a 1 point game, 5:34 remaining, and I would not want to miss it, ladies and gentlemen. We still have plenty of first half basketball to go. Stay tuned. back, ladies and gentlemen, here. Body Bodega with control of the ball as the game remains close. And right when I say that, they're able to go in, score some points. Wonderful to see there for the Body Bodega side as they get inside. For Body Bodega, Tamaya ends up coming back in for Desiree. And Old But Cold will remain with the possession here, following the ball getting tipped out of bounds. But right now on the court for Old But Cold, Dakota, Becky, Dee, Kayla, and Jill all out there at the current moment for this Old But Cold side. Kayla gives it over to Dakota. Dakota sizing up her defender here, and Jessica ends up giving it over to Becky. Becky with the swing now to Jill, who launches from three, doesn't get it to go, it just bounces out. Ball gets tipped. Jessica's able to get the tip, and it ends up going now to Julia. Julia's able to flip it over to Hannah. Hannah goes in 1-2, goes right up. Becky tries adding to the block party. Instead, it ends up back in the hands of Hannah. But oh my God, great hustle play there from Dee to try to regain possession of the ball, and she does. Able to come over, grab it, and the referees grant Old But Cold the possession of the play there. Now Dee inbounds it to Dakota. Wonderful play there from Old But Cold. They only trail by one, but this game's really been back and forth. Dakota stumbles for a second, is able to regain her control, but sadly does lose the ball. And now it is Tamaya on the break, give it up to Julia. Julia gives it over to Kat. Kat to Hannah from the mid-range, bounces out. Boing, doesn't go. Kicks it to Julia's able to pull it in. Goes to Hannah. Hannah now swings it over to Kat. Boing once more. Ends up landing in the hands of Jessica, but now it ends up being turned over, and Dee's the one on the break here for this Old But Cold side. Ball goes up to Jill Stratton. Jill gives it to Kayla. Nice little switch pass across the court to Dakota, but it doesn't fall in favor of Old But Cold. They've ran a little cold here, not gonna lie. It's been tough for them as they only trail by one, but they're still looking to maintain and keep their foot on the pedal here against this Body Bodega side. Not a lot, large miscommunication there between Jessica and Julia. That was unfortunate to see from them as the ball, as a result, gets turned over, and it's now Old But Cold possession once more. Coming on for Old But Cold, we have Rachel in exchange for Dakota coming on to the court at this moment in time. And I think that is the, Laura also comes on for Kayla. Jill goes up. Able to get it go. No issues whatsoever there from her. She's able to tuck it home. Body Bodega now gives it over to Kat. Kat to Hannah. Hannah tries giving, Julia to Hannah. And Hannah, I saw her right there. They were scoping the pass into Kat. But sadly, again, just the miscommunication on the pass. Once they get that going, you could definitely see them potentially drilling it more in this match. Rachel gives it over to Jill. Jill over to Dee. Thinks about it for three, won't go. And Becky now tries to swing past to Kat, who's able to swat it. And it goes out of bounds. Will remain Old But Cold possession. Jill now with the swing pass over to Dee. Dee gives it over to Rachel, who launches from three herself, won't go. Jill Stratton thinks about pulling it in, but Kat's able to go. Thank you very much. I will be taking this. It is a gift for me. And she's able to now continue the possession for this Body Bodega side. Julia to Hannah. Hannah goes up, very tough contact lay-in, and ends up in the hands of Becky. And Hannah's right here going, ref, I was fouled. The ref doesn't choose to agree with her. Jill, defender on her hip, ends up giving over to Becky, who launches from the mid-range. It sits on the rim, but it doesn't go in her favor. It's Kat, the one who pulls it in, now runs the transition, flipping it up to Julia. Julia thinks about it, gives it over to Jessica. Jessica says, you know what? I'm letting it fly once again from three. She's been electric from there. Doesn't able to get it. And now it's going to go to Tamaya, though. Tamaya launches from the midi, who doesn't get it to go. And now they're taking it up. Jill, behind the back, able to get it. Keeps the possession, now gives it over to Dee. 4, 3, it bounces out, boing. Ends up in the hands of Laura. Laura back out to Becky, Becky to Rachel, Rachel back to Becky, and Becky dumps inside to Rachel once again. The 1-2 play strategy just doesn't fall. Hannah gives it up to Jessica, though, who goes up for the lay-in, and Laura's able to come over with the rebound. Oh, contact there as Jill Stratton goes down. She's still down here through the contact, but I think she might be all right here. Substitutions being made here. It's going to be Ray and Julie in exchange for Becky and Dee. And actually, no, Becky's the one going to stay on. Jill, a little bit roughed up there from the fall. We'll see how she ends up continuing this one. 40 seconds left in this first. A very eventful first right here, and a close game, too, at 32-31. Julia going to inbound, thinks about it, and chooses to give it over to Kat. Kat in the wing says, you know what, I'm launching. Doesn't get it to go. It bounces around between Laura and Tamaya. Able to keep it in bounds? No, not able to keep it in bounds. No, they do keep it in bounds. What just happened there? I couldn't really see. Honestly, guys, my vantage view is pretty limited on that side of the course. I couldn't see it, but it does seem that the ball ended up getting tipped by Tamaya to maintain the possession in favor of the Bodega team. They almost turned it over once again. Drew with a great hustle and tip to make sure the team is able to maintain possession. Tamaya goes right at the hoop. Very tough lay-in! A tough lay-in there for Bodega. And that's right as the first half expires, ladies and gentlemen. What a way to end that first half between Bodega and Old But Cold. It's 33-32, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want to miss what's coming here for this second half, as we've had an electric game here as the second game of the slate here in game week 7. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen, as we have some more exciting WMBA basketball to come. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more WMBA basketball. Bodega up by 1 here, 33-32 in their match between them and the Old but Cold side. Julia ends up giving it over to Jessica. Jessica over to the left corner. This Cat thinks about it, and the referee calls him. What do they call? It's step out. No, it's not. They're just going to maintain possession here for Bodega. the one that pulls in the board, goes up and gets called for the foul. It's not an N1 play, but they are going to be able to fight back. Ray pulls up for the first free throw, wasn't able to go, but the second free throw is one that is able to convert as Old But Cold able to tie up the game here at 33s. Hannah has it twisted. Oh my God, that's at me! That ball was headed right at us, and I was worried I might need to get a new computer. But no worries here. Old But Cold inbounds. My dear friend Dakota, the one doing the inbounding here for this Old But Cold side. Chill now to Julie. Let's talk about who's on the court right now. For Old But Cold, it's Julie, who now gives it to Jill. Jill inside to Ray, who goes up, doesn't get it to go, but gets called for the foul. 2 free throws here now for Ray as they have a chance here once again. But yeah, Ray's joined by Jill, Julie on the court, along with my friend Dakota and Becky. Becky Nash. Becky with the good hair. Whatever you want to call her, she's on the court right now, Becky. We'll see how it ends up going for her. For Body Bodega, though, let's take a look here at who is on the court for them. We have Hannah. Alongside Hannah, we have Kat, who just grabbed the board, able to maintain it, gives it over to Julia, who has it, and along with them, you have Desiree and Jessica rounding out the lineup. Ball goes over to Jessica. She says, I'm a scorer from 3. She's been electric from range, and she definitely continues it there. A massive 3 there as Body Bodega opened their scoring at the half. Wonderful to see for them. Jill now to Dakota, who launches back from 3 to answer on her own. Doesn't get it to go. Hannah's the one that pulls it in, gives it over to Desiree. Desiree to the left wing, gives it now to Jessica. Jessica receives the handoff from Hannah. And the 3 from the corner won't go. Gets swatted out. Julie maintains possession, gives it into Kat. Kat launches from the mid-range. My apologies, I just gave those points to Old But Cold, but those 2 points are actually for Body Bodega. I pressed the wrong side of my ticker, but yes, Body Bodega able now to extend the lead to 5. It gets tipped. Becky's fighting for it, ends up in the hands of Body Bodega once more, and this time it's Jessica on the right side. She's been electric from 3, finds Hannah on the inside, tries to give it inside, tipped off and blocked by Becky as she intercepts it, gives it over to Jill, and Jill here on the fast break. She's fast for a reason, and they definitely break for 2 more points there to cut the deficit to 3. Old But Cold now, they're going to be swinging it over. Let's see what ends up going. Jessica launches, doesn't get it to go. Now we're going to give it over to Kat. Kat puts it up. No, once again, it's just tip party right now. It's a tip party right now, and it goes out of bounds, and it will remain Body Bodega ball. $18-10 remaining, looking to see where the ball ends up getting inbounded. Nice little showing here to see if they're able. Well, we're seeing nice little fans here. Love to see the fans. Honestly, when we first started out, ladies and gentlemen, there weren't a ton of fans here in the stands, not a ton of people able to come out. Now we're seeing more and more people at these matches, and you're really starting to feel the energy, and that is always lovely to see. Body Bodega, following a little bit of a scramble there, are the ones that end up with possession of the ball. Julia gives it over to Jessica. Jessica to Kat. Kat finds Desiree inside, but it gets blocked by Julie, and now Becky's the one on the breaks, flips it up to Jill. Jill, nice little in and out. Gets it. Oh my God, a circus layup isn't able to go. That would have been one of the plays of the week if it ended up going. Julia now to Jessica in the corner. She lines up. Oh, what a great play from Dakota to get back on D. Ball falls into the hands of Julia, but instead it ends up falling out of bounds. Julia loses control, but you can see a little bit frustrated from it, but it is what it is. Kat subbing out now for Tamaya for this Body Bodega side. Meanwhile, for Old But Cold, I'm seeing Kayla out there alongside Jill, alongside Ray, alongside D, and alongside Dakota. Oh my God! A little bit of a lost scramble there, and now it's going to be Julia running the break, and they flip it over to the corner. Jessica gives it inside to Desiree. Desiree back out to Jessica. Jessica gives it to Hannah. Hannah to Desiree. Desiree with a tough lane, doesn't go in. Oh my God, ends up for Damaya. Tries giving it inbounds. Instead, it's going to be Kayla now on the break. Gonna flip it a nice little view into D, and the defender's able to come over and contest. But it doesn't matter as Old McCold tack on 2 more here to now trail only by 1. Julia gives it over to Jessica on the right-hand side. Flips it over to the top of the key where it's Hannah. Hannah low to work here on Diana. Goes up! Is that an and one? It is! An and one opportunity here for the Body Bodega side. Great play by Hannah to get to the rim and be sure to draw that foul. It's great to see for her. Let's see if she manages to connect. Nope, doesn't fall. Rebounded by D. D, oh, he gets tipped, but ends up back in the hands of D. Is now able to give it up to Kayla. Kayla gives it over to Dakota. Dakota inside to Ray. Ray able to draw the double team. It ends up becoming a foul. It's going to be a foul called on Hannah. A bit of a reach in, and it's going to be still Old but Cold balls. They now get a chance to reset here in a half-court set. Ball goes to top to Jill. Jill to Dakota. Dakota gives it out to... No, sorry, Jill to D, D to Dakota, and Dakota does a little move, gives it to Jill, Jill to Ray, Ray able to tough it out inside, and the ball now goes to the hands of Dakota, who puts it up for 3, isn't able to get it to go, and now Hannah has it to lay it off now to Julia. She says, thank you very much, my friend. Julia's Dakota here on the right-hand side, drives straight in, and oh my God, ends up losing it, and now it's Dakota White on the break. Hannah's coming over to potentially play some defense on her, but not able to get back in time, and Dakota's able to score on a very quick breakaway, following the slip from Julia. She's gonna look to be able to bounce back though. Hannah lays it off to her, Tamaya tying her shoe. So right now, Body Bodega down a player. We should see Tamaya rejoin them very shortly. Tries to give it inside to Jessica, but just a little bit too high there. Hannah saying, that's on me, Jessica. That pass was on me. Kat now coming on in exchange for Desiree. And Old McCold will be inbounding with possession. Laura's lined up to come back in. She says, am I going to come in? And they're like, no, no, no. In a moment, Laura, you will be in for us. No worries, bestie. And Laura goes, okay, slay. Kayla now gives it over to Dakota. Dakota into D, but D gets ruled for a travel. Confused there. The whole team just a little bit confused on that call by the referees. But in the end, Body Bodega will be taking up possession now. From an insanely high-scoring first half to a second half that isn't as close. At the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a minor technical issue, so we will be right back. Apologies there, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little bit of an issue when it came to a tech thing on the computer, but we got it sorted. The game is still incredibly close. Right as I was saying, scoring had kind of dried up. I make sure the internet, make sure everything is plugged in, make sure everything is working adequately on our end for the broadcast. And I get back, ladies and gentlemen, what do we see? We see more scoring, and that's what we love to see in these matchups. Hannah goes up, 1-2, goes up, doesn't get the foul, and now it's going to be Rachel trying to break out of there, gives it over to D. D's running the break now, swings it far, cross court to Dakota, contact on the layup, and able to get her to go. Thank you very much, she says. Wonderful to see as Old But Cold take the lead once more. It's still a 1-point game. Hannah squares up, tries to give it to Tamaya, gets stolen, and now it's Dakota. Dakota's running the break. She's gonna take it all the way herself from the steal, and isn't able to get her to go. And Rachel pulls it in. Oh my goodness, Rachel pulled it in and went back up with it and doesn't get her to go. Now Hannah's the one on the break, giving over to Tamaya. She squares up, launches from 3, won't go. Back up is Hannah though, and Hannah is the one able to get it for this Body Bodega side to retake the lead. Ball reaches inside of Laura. D for 3, you betcha! That is D's preferred shot, and she's able to get it to go. A timeout now called. We're gonna go to a short break, and this time it's planned because of the action on the court. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, but man, this game's ramped up, 10 minutes remaining, and we still could see a crazy result at the end of this one. Will Body Bodega be able to pull it back, keep it close? It's still a close one, or will Old But Cold be able to close out and finally go over 500 this season? We'll be right back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, as Julia's the one bringing it up the court now for Body Bodega. Screen on the right side by Kat. Nice little slip, shoots it, doesn't get it. Now Julia over here, just like a floor general, telling him go here, go there, go everywhere. Kat says, you know what? I can hit it from this range. It's in my mid-range. Able to get 2 points there. Tie up the game in favor for the Body Bodega side. Able to flip it over to D. D is deadly from 3. Able to flip it over to Julie. Julie trying to keep her cool. Able to give it over to Laura. Laura back over to Jill. Jill has it. Dancing on the defenders. Gives it over to D, who launches for 3. Isn't able to get her to go. And now they're running the break. Go, go, go. All guns blazing is the way it's going. And Julia gives it over to Jessica, who has a flamethrower. And she puts it up. Doesn't get her to go. Rebounded by Becky. Jill's the one that's able to keep it. Jill swings it over to D, has space, says nah, gives it back over to Jill. Jill has it, goes up with it through the contact, draws the foul. Tamaya said I had my hands up. I didn't foul her, but in the end, the referees decide against the pleas of the player. Hannah's gonna be coming on for Tamaya. You can see Tamaya is not exactly super happy with it, but it is what it is when it comes down to it. And we'll see if Jill can break the tie here. First one up for Jill. It's short. She isn't able to convert on it. Let's see if she's scores this one to be able to split her free throws. Doesn't get that one to go either, and the game remains tied. Hannah's the one that pulls it in. She's going to flip it over to Julia. Julia dumps it inside of Hannah. Hannah, 1 drop step, 2 drop step, 3 drop step, 4. Goes right up, blocked by Becky. Welcome to the block party again. This time it's right on Hannah, who usually is the head of the block party. Instead, she's the one that gets rejected there. Great play from Becky. But in the end, even after the scramble, even after how it all turned out in that one, Hannah able to pull it in and get hacked on a shot. And she gets a chance to get 2 free throws here for the Body Bodega side. First one, no go. No go at all. And Hannah now looks to split the free throws. Hannah puts it up, it's short. And no dice. 2 back-to-back free throw attempts, 2 back-to-back misses on both. Cooley Julie into Laura. Laura goes up with a tough one, doesn't get her to go. It's picked up by Hannah. Got back down court fast. Gives it over to Julia. Laura right here, able to get it. Says, hey, she elbowed me. But hey, doesn't complain much about it. Gets back. Julia now gives it over to Hannah. Hannah has it. Little bit of a drop step. Pulls up from the midi. Doesn't get her to go from the stripe. Jill's the one that pulls it in. Gives it up to D. D running the transition now. Thinks about it for a moment. Instead gives it back to Jill. Jill swings it over to Becky. Becky for the midi. It bounces up, but it doesn't come down in a preferable manner. Hannah's the one that pulls down with it, and now it's going to be Julia here on the left wing. Has Kat setting the screen. Jill says, hey, not my favorite thing. Able to give it over to Kat, though. Kat going up on Laura. Doesn't go. Pulling it up. Back up, though, is Hannah, who's able to get 2 points there. Tack them on, ladies and gentlemen. Tack them all on. Body Bodega regained the lead here, under 7 remaining. It was Jill with the tough lay-in, though. She's able to get it to go for this old but cold side. Now it's going to be Jessica bringing it up. Gives it to Desiree. What a great spin move from Desiree. Ends up finding Jessica. Jessica's able to swing into the corner. It's Kat for 3. No. That would have been a wonderful play to see. Amazing play. Footwork, passing, the whole 9. It's just the finish that doesn't go. Now it's old but cold. How do they respond? D gives it over to Jill, who gives it over to Julie for 3. No go. Hannah pulls it in. It's going to be Julia. She's the one taking it up this time. Julia looking around, flips into the corner where she sees Jessica. Jessica covered by D, 2 of the best sharpshooters on the court right now. Give it over to Hannah. Hannah able to give it inside to Jessica, who's able to finish. Body Bodega able to score, and a timeout gets called between these sides. Wonderful to see. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. 5:43 remaining. Body Bodega only lead by 2, and it's been a fantastic game from end to end, start to finish. We'll see how both these teams close out. We will be right back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, here following that short little break. Dakota gives it inside. Oh, Dakota give it to Jill. Jill to Rachel. Rachel to Dakota. We're back from those few messages. There wasn't really a message. It was just a short break. You got to hear some music. That's pretty nice. But in the meantime, while we wait for the deliberation here from the refs, it still seems like Old Boy Cold's going to be keeping the ball. I am going to plug Megacity basketball. 15-year anniversary coming up for Megacity. If you want to be a part of the community, you want to be a part of all that's coming for Megacity, be sure to check out our website down below at megacitybasketball.com. Sign up for the men's leagues, women's leagues, and if you're into the youth programs, you'll be able to come on out. Youth programs also turning 10 years old this year. And if the program is 10 years old, hey, you guys should sign up for it too. Sign your kids up, join the Megacity family, join the Megacity community. It would be beautiful to see here. Anyway. Ball goes up there from Desiree, gets blocked, and it's going to be Jill now. Giving it to Kayla. Kayla, quick dump off over to Dakota. Dakota back over to Kayla. Kayla swings it to Ray. Ray in the post, goes up, and ends up getting called for the travel. Ray's going, hey, look at my shoes. They didn't travel. They're still located right here. We took the adequate amount of steps. I took a drop step, and the ref's going, nah, I'm not counting that. I'm not playing with that. And that's just how it ends up turning out. Body Bodega regains possession. Julie, the one bringing it up here on the right side now, has Dakota coming all the way around. Kat has it here at the top of the arc, doesn't go, but again, it's Julia with the hustle play, isn't able to pick it out. And now Kayla's the one running it, gives a wonderful bounce pass, Oh, not enough. Not a good finish there from Jill. It almost was there. It would have been a wonderful play. And it's picked up by Kayla once again. This time Jill goes up, draws the foul, gets a chance to tie it up here at the free throw line. But man, what a wonderful heads-up play from Kayla. We're seeing some substitutions here. Desiree coming on for Tamaya. Kayla's happy with it. Great play there. Ends up pointing at mid-court, telling her teammates, hey, you know what? I'm going to make sure no one's cherry-picking on us. Goes for the back. Jill's the one stepping up here on the free throw line. First free throw here from Jill. She's able to get her to go. Thank you very much, she says. Now the lead only sits at 1. Can Old But Cold tie it up here? They do just that. Jill able to keep it ice in her veins, able to tie it up. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Tamaya goes right at the hoop, right into the teeth of the defense, and it says thank you very much, and slots it home, no issue. Kayla gives it to Jill, Jill back to Kayla, Kayla gives it over to Ray, Ray, oh, a little bit of a skip that was, but it doesn't get called, it doesn't get seen, and Dakota's the one that pulls it in. Kat has it, Julia was for a bit, able to kick it back over to Julia, and Julia covered by Dakota now. Old But Cold might want to choose some clock here as they're up by just 2, but regardless, all over her is Julia having Dakota draped all over her. Gives it over to Jessica. Jessica to Kat. Kat, pump fakes, goes right at the defense here with Rachel. Goes right up. Rachel pulls it in following the air ball. Jill's the one leading the transition. How's she going to do? Swings it over to Dakota. Dakota White for 3. She's open. Won't go. Ball gets tipped down to Julia. And now it's Jessica on the break. Has Dakota says, you know what? I'm going to slow it down. We have the time. We have the space. We're going to keep it calm. No, she pulls from 3. Doesn't go. Picked up by Hannah, who goes right back up with it. Doesn't get her to go either. And now we have Jill. Jill over to Kayla. Kayla has it. Julia steps up, says, you know what? I'm going to turn around. Says Kayla. Swings it. Wide open Dakota. Launches for 3. Money! Massive 3 for the Old But Cold side. We're under 2 minutes remaining now. And Old But Cold take the lead by 1. Julia going to take a little bit of a subtle screen here from Kat on the right-hand side. Motions for Jessica to come up. Doesn't go. Going to give it another hand at the top of the post, right side of the upper post. Bodying down Ray. Tough lay-in. Goes up. Won't get it to go. And it's Jill Stratton who pulls it in. A lot of contact there from Jill and Hannah, but in the end, she's able to get it over to Kayla. And Old But Cold remain with possession of the ball. Dakota steps up for 3. It goes right up, and it goes right into the hands of Hannah. It doesn't go. Body Bodega running the break. Thinks about it. Dump pass into Kat. Kat goes up. Isn't able to get it to go. Oh, but there's a second chance there. There's a bit of a scramble, and it ends up with 3 players on the ground. Raylan with the ball. Up to Dakota, who now is going to hold it up. Slow down the possession, make sure that they're able to stay in control. Has Jessica, oh, Dakota tries to go with the spin move. Jessica, unfortunate there, it is a foul that gets called. And it will remain Old But Cold ball. Substitution being made. D coming on for Rachel and Julie coming on for Kayla for this Old But Cold side. No substitutions being made for Body Bodega. 56 seconds remain in this match and Old But Cold lead by 1. Dakota, it's tipped, has it, oh, it was a push-off. Jill Stratton pushes off, great defensive awareness from Julia, and now Body Bodega will be retaining possession of the ball. They'll be getting it back here. We have 48 seconds remaining, ladies and gentlemen, and this is going to be a wonderful end. How do Body Bodega respond? You can't leave Jessica open. She's been amazing from 3, gives it over to Hannah. Hannah tries to, fakes the handoff to Tamaya, goes up with the lay and gets it to go. Body Bodega now lead by 1. 33 seconds remaining. Chop, chop. Oh, my God. Julia goes flying, and Dakota answers right back with a 3 of her own. 2-point game here. 30 seconds in the match. Kat gives it over to Tamaya. Tamaya has it now. The defenders are starting to swarm. No 3s. Dakota swats it out, gives it over to Jill. They're going to try to chew clock now. Jill gives it over to Julie. Julie gets tripped up. Jill gets tripped up. Foul gets called. 16 seconds remaining. And a player that's been so aware of her pockets today gets picked by Dakota White. Dakota goes to show the talented player she is. Gets the steal, and the ball now goes to Jill Stratton. who draws the foul and gets 2 free throws here to try to close out this game. First one from Jill to make it a 3-point game. If she misses this one, Bodega can still hit a 3 and be able to bring it back in this game. Second one from Jill. She gets it to go. 2-possession lead. Woo! My goodness, what a crazy last 2 minutes we have here, and it's still 16 seconds remaining in this match. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. It's going to be a short break before these last 16 seconds. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I told you it would be a very, very short break. And now, Bodega inbounds. They need 4 points here. Hannah has it, draws a double team, goes up with it. It's a tough lay-in, doesn't get it to go. Tamaya fights for a cat, puts it back up and in. Bodega gets the 2 points. Or did it not get ruled that way? It does get ruled that way, and we're going to get another timeout. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We're not going to be going to break here for this timeout. It's going to be still here. We have 8 seconds. How's Bodega going to respond is the main question, and it's going to be very, very much interesting to see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought we were at that little transition screen. No, we weren't. And a little bit of a slip there. And a foul gets instantly drawn here. Jessica forces the foul on Julie, and now the pressure's on for Julie. Needs to hit both of these to make sure the game really is out of reach. After them right now, we have Dynasty versus No Name being the matchup to come up. Julie's first free throw won't go. That means a make here at the line. Means a 3-pointer from Bodega could win it for him. Second one for Julie. They got to play the long game. Kat gives it over to Julia. Julia taking it up now. Gives it over to Tamaya. Tamaya goes up. Why is it for a 2? Doesn't get her to go. Goes back up as Hannah. Doesn't go. Game's over, ladies and gentlemen. And Old But Cold with a massive game. A massive win for this Old But Cold side as they move to 4-3, tying Bodega's record. Bodega 59. Old But Cold 62. What a crazy matchup, ladies and gentlemen, as we set up for this following game of WMBA basketball. We have the undefeated No Name side taking on Dynasty. Dynasty need this win to be able to maintain it, keep it in front of them this season, while No Name hope to maintain their undefeated start to this year's. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, it's full time. Thank you very much for coming out. Stay tuned if you want to watch this No Name game, but if you have to hop off because you were a massive fan of Bodega or Old But Cold, you just got to see an absolute great game. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back for the Dynasty as they take on No Name. are back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have the Dynasty, who will be taking on the undefeated no-name side. Dynasty started off their season quite slow, but in the end, it doesn't really matter, as they've really been cooking up in these past couple weeks. They're looking to really get it going. Toughest challenge in the league now. We'll see if they're able to respond. We're going to redo the jump ball, and while we wait there for the jump ball to start up again, let's take a look at who's here for the no-name side. We have Lindsay, May, Emma, Patricia, and Maddie out there for the no-name side. Meanwhile, for the Dynasty, oh, they turn it over there. Lindsay with the steal, gives it inside to Emma. Emma steps over with the mid-range, doesn't get it to go, and it falls out of bounds for the no-name side. I wasn't able to mention who was there. I mentioned who was out there for the no-name side. I wasn't able to get to the who was out there for the Dynasty side. On the ball right now is the one and only Beast. They're joined by Valerie, along with Jalika and Carrie out there right now. Ball goes up for Ann, gets it a go. First points of the game. Yes, it is. First points of the game. They go to the Dynasty. Lindsay loses it there for a second to Beast, ends up kicking it back out to Maddie. Maddie puts it up from three, doesn't go, it bounces around. Lindsay's the one that ends up winning it on the boards. Lindsay Shotbolt might just be the best player in this league. She's been fantastic all year round on the best team in the league. We'll see how that continues to hold up this week. And flips it inside to Carrie. Carrie's able to get it up, almost gets it to sit on the rim, and this time able to convert it as the Dynasty, as I mentioned, they're still fighting to see if they can get it to go their way. Maddie gives it over to Lindsay, who answers back with a mid-range of her own to tie up the game once more for this no-name team. Both sides coming out firing. We know the no-name team does just that. They are fantastic at scoring, keeping the pressure up. This time we'll see how it ends up going. On to Ann. Ann tries to flip it over to Jalika, and it's stolen by Emma. Emma on the break here for the no-name side. Puts it up, misses the more. Oh my. I'm at a loss for words. That's not a miss you usually see from the no-name side. Yeah, Beast pulls up from three. It goes up, and it just doesn't sit right, and it gets pulled in by Lindsay now. Both teams came out scoring fast, and now they're going to try to maintain. Lindsay forced to miss there, rebounded by Valerie, and now Jalika is going to be giving it up to Ann. Ann looking to size up Maddie, gives it into Valerie. Valerie, seeing how she approaches it, gets hit, ball gets knocked out. No foul call, try drawing it, no dice. Carrie gives it inside to Beast. Beast has it, and now it's a bit of, I believe it was a kickball violation is what gets ruled there. Either way, Dynasty will be maintaining possession in this scenario. Beast gives it over to Carrie, gets stolen by May. May gives it up to Lindsay. Lindsay's on the transition, two defenders getting back, and Lindsay, uncharacteristic miss. They play the transition well, though. Carrie able to have it now. Dynasty slow it down, gives it over to Ann. Ann goes right at him with a tough lay and draws the foul as she goes up. Isn't able to get the make, but now has a chance to tag 2 free throws on in this one. Free throws here for Ann. First one wasn't a make, and the second one isn't either. Both misses there for the Dynasty as the scores stick at 4. Lindsay swings it over to Patricia. Patricia goes up with it, isn't able to get it to go. And now Patricia tips it off of Carrie, and Carrie is the one that the Paul gets called out for. Carrie puts a finger up. You know what, ref, that's on me. That was on me. Tough scenes. And now substitutions being made. Melissa coming on for Valerie on the Dynasty side of things. Madison gives it over to Emma Jonas, who launches for 3, won't go. And now the one running the transition here, able to pick it up here. Drives over, flips it up to Carrie, gets tipped by May, who isn't able to close it out. Beast gets it though, able inside to Melissa. Melissa back out to Beast, who's able to get the jumper from the mid-range. Big mid-range jumper there as the Dynasty break the deadlock and take the lead. May now over to Emma Jonas, thinks about it from 3. Instead it's going to go to the corner where Maddie sits. And you cannot give anybody on this no-name side an ounce of space, an inch of space, a Kelvin of space. It doesn't matter the unit of measurement or even if it's distance. You just cannot give them anything of space for this no-name side, especially with how good they've been from 3. Ball gets bounced off the no-name defender, and I believe it will remain. Yes, it remains Dynasty ball. Substitutions being made right now. Ann and Beast both coming off for Dynasty. Neville coming onto the court with Cristina Albero. Meanwhile, for No Name, we see Robin make her way onto the court here. Let's see what she's able to do. And Sarah's also going to make her way onto the court for this No Name side, as we have both Patricia and Lindsay coming off on the side of the reigning champions. Let's see how they approach it here. Carrie on the inbound. Gonna give it over to Melissa. Melissa lined up here from the three-point line. Is gonna hand it off to Carrie. Carrie takes over the ball handling duties. Thinks about it here. Has May smothered. Thinks about it, but it doesn't get called. Christina gives it over to Neville. And a shot clock violation gets called against the Dynasty as No Name take possession of the ball here. Sarah to Robin, who launches from the mid-range, doesn't get her to go. Melissa's the one that ends up with it after the scramble. Neville's the one bringing it up here for Dynasty. Goes up with it, blocked by Robin. Robin with a massive block there for the No Name side. Dynasty remain with possession, but stops the fast break, and that's really nothing to scoff at. Jalika here, sizing up Maddie, goes up with it and able to get her to go. 2 points here in favor of the Dynasty as now they take the lead. But again, a quick break. You can't give them space from 3. You can't do any of that type of thing. Ball goes to Madison. Madison gives it over to May. And like I said, no space can be given, but the movement for No Name has always been exceptional. They retake the lead. Christina gives it now to Melissa, who launches it. Ball bounces up. Ends up getting rebounded by Christina. Gets her own miss. Now takes the screen from Neville. Ball ends up in the hands of Carrie. Carrie goes up with it, gets blocked, goes up with it again. And this time, it is a foul. And oh my goodness, our tripod fell. It's all right. We have... Gonna be honest, guys, these bleachers are not in a fantastic place to put a camera. I'll tell you that for free. We don't have a ton of space there to operate, but luckily we weren't able to miss any of the free throws as Carrie sinks the first one. Man, oh man. My apologies to Evan based off of where we're set up here, but hey, you know what? Evan's a strong man. We're able to get it going. And the second free throw was missed. They went back up with a shot, but it ended up not falling. Ball goes inside of Robin. Robin tries to take it up, doesn't get it to go. And now Dynasty, just as quick as they lost it, they're getting it right back. Melissa's the one bringing it up, bouncing it off her foot. Oh no, oh dear. But ball goes to Sarah. Sarah loses control, and now it remains Dynasty ball. It's been sloppy basketball to begin this game, ladies and gentlemen, if I do say so myself. Goes up is Madison, gives it over to Christina, sits, doesn't get it to go. Robin pulls it in, gives it up to Sarah. They're running the break now. No Name, gives it to May. You can't give her space. Lucky she did not score there. Robin gets it, swings it back over, goes to Emma. Emma gives it over to Maddie, who puts it up. Another miss for the No Name side. Usually a side on fire, especially from jump shots. Not really connecting today. Neville floats it up underhand. Doesn't get it to go. Sarah tries to pass it up. It gets bounced off of Neville, and now it's still No Name ball as they get a chance to fully inbound. May gives it to Emma. Emma to the corner. We have Sarah who gives it inside to Robin. Robin, hook shot from the line, no dice. Ball goes to Jalika. Jalika launches it deep. Great cross-court vision to Christina. And Christina gives it inside to Neville. Neville with the fader and ends up sliding out of her hand. May's the one that has it. And after a little bit of a shenanigan there, just a tad, gives it to Emma. And oh, it gets tipped. Wonderful defensive play there from Jalika. As Lindsay shot bolt comes out. No. just going to be a timeout here for the no-name side. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We're tied at 9. We have 12:35 remaining in the first. We'll be right back following this short little break. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Dynasty just managed to steal the ball. Jalika, after the steal, puts up a floater, doesn't go. Lindsay has it, outlet pass immediately to Madison. Madison drives in, isn't able to have it, able to give it up to Lindsay. Lindsay with a tough shot. And in the end, it ends up being Dynasty ball following the miss. Christina gives it to Nabil. She launches for 3, isn't able to get it to go. Rebounded by Lindsay. Now Lindsay's running the break. Lindsay flips it over to Robin. Robin here at the top. Thinks, flips, gives it over to Maddie. Maddie to Sarah. Sarah to Patricia. Wonderful ball movement, but the ball doesn't find its way into the net. It's been tough for this no-name side. It's been tough for both of these sides, really. And after a quick little start for both sides, it's kind of gone dry when it comes to the jump shots taken. And right as I say that, Dynasty with a deep 2 from Valerie Sampson as they take the lead now. Ball gets swung from Lindsay to Sarah, but it doesn't go. Ball's able to be kept in bounds though, and Lindsay able to go up with the uncontested layup. I think the Dynasty side thought that the ball was out of bounds. And I'll be honest, so did I. I also thought it was out of bounds. But it goes to show why they have that championship pedigree. Never stop playing till the whistle ends. I know a lot of junior coaches will be preaching that one if they look at the tape. Carry covered by Lindsay, able to kick it out to Nabil. The cross-court pass to Jalika gets tipped. Jalika goes up with it and ends up being blocked. No, Jalika goes up with it again, and this time isn't able to convert it, but is able to draw the foul. Or is it? Players are discussing it. Players are seeing, was it a free throw? Was it not a foul? What was the call? And in the end, it's not ruled a foul, just, I believe it got called a travel. I'm not certain what it ended up getting called there by the referees, but in the end, it does end up being no-name ball. Maddie, give it over to Sarah. Sarah cross-court pass to Patricia, almost intercepted by Christina. But over and back is what gets called, backcourt violation. Now Ann's gonna be the one inbounding. Give it to Valerie. Valerie back over to Ann. Ann has it, gives it over to Christina. Christina has it. Gonna go up with it, doesn't go. Val goes up, doesn't go. Christina pulls it in once more. Third time's the charm on this possession. Gives it over to Ann. Ann loses it though. It's going to be picked up by Sarah. Sarah's going to be the one taking it up now on the side of the court. Long pass to Madison. Madison cross pass to Lindsay. Lindsay finds Patricia. The ball moving's there and it bounces and sits and goes in. No name able to get it. Thank you very much, they say. Jalika has it, goes through to the defense, loses it there to Lindsay. And Lindsay now being the one, picking up the court here. Bring it. Goes up, 1-2, puts it up and in. As No Name starting to wake up, it seems. Able to keep it in front of them. Ball to Jalika. Just straight from Val. Ball back out to Val, who launches the jumper. It's short, but it's still bouncing around. Lindsay the one who pulls it in, taking it up. thinks about it, stops, lays it off to Patricia. Patricia goes up 1-2, little floater game, and she's able to get her to go, no problem. And now I missed one of the points being scored earlier. That's on me. I didn't notice that the hotkey didn't register. There was a ball in the court for a moment. There's no more ball on the court as Dynasty going right at it. Little flater there from Carey. Doesn't go. Christina's the one fanning for it. There's a fight. There's a fight for this ball. Ends up being called jump possession arrow. And it ends up going in the favor, actually, of the no-name side. Subs being made. Sarah coming off for Maddie as well. Sarah and Maddie both coming off, apologies. And coming on, we have May, along with Emma Jonas. Meanwhile, Christina, Jalika, and Val come off for the Dynasty. And coming on, we have Nabil, Beast, and Melissa. Nabil gives it now to Carey. Carey trying to size up the defense. Goes up with a little flow. Doesn't go. It gets bounced out. Picked up by Nabil. Nabil has the defender on her hip. He gets fouled on the shot. Little hook there, and it just doesn't fall. Nabil goes up with the first free throw. No dice. She gets the second one to go. Does just that. Dynasty tack on another point. No name now running the transition. It's May. May out to Emma. Emma to Robin. Robin to Patricia. Patricia 1-2. Oh my God! It gets popped out by Ann. Ends up going, finding its way over to Robin. Robin isn't going to go in Ann. One of the highest motors in the league. Ends up getting fouled there by Lindsay Schoppel to stop the fast transition. And it's going to inbound now to Nabil. Nabil tries to give it out to Melissa. Melissa, no, well, tough on the secure, but able to contain it. Now the ball gets played inside of Beast. Beast goes up, wins the 50-50 on Patricia. Patricia trying to guard on Beast. Beast with a jumper. It doesn't get it to go off the backboard. Now it's going to be Robin running the break. Beast comes in, puts some pressure, but instead the ball just ends up flowing out of bounds. No name inbound now. Patricia to May, and May isn't able to corral the pass. Dynasty pull it in. 6:30 remaining. Beast thinks about on the cut, but instead it doesn't go to anybody. And with it not going to anybody there, it's just going to be going back to the no-name side. They say thank you very much. Now it's going to be no name. Patricia, Robin. Emma Jonas from 3. Doesn't get her to go. Bounces around up. 2, 3, 4 tips there. And now it's Melissa, the one who pulls it in. Stops after a couple of dribbles and ends up laying it over to Beast. He's trying to size up the defender. Steps up with the fader. The fader. And a nice jumper there to see from Beast to cut the lead to 3 for this no-name side. Ball goes over to May. Beast tried intercepting, doesn't go, and ends up going back to Lindsay. And Lindsay says, thank you very much. And slots it. Quick pass up, though, goes to Ann. Ann drives right at May. What a behind-the-back pass over to Carey as the Dynasty answer back with 2 of their own. May has it, gives it over to Lindsay. Lindsay puts it up, misses. Carey's the one that pulls in the board. Carey back out to Beast. Beast had Nabil inside, but now Nabil's gonna be setting the screen. Double team quick for her. Ends up swinging long and just not able to hold on to it is Melissa. Inbound into May. May's the one that pulls it in. Quick pass off to Maddie. Maddie over to Lindsay. Lindsay puts it up. Doesn't go. Gets tipped around. One tip, two tip. But the tip drill falls in the favor of the Dynasty. Again, by the way, here, I forgot to tack on just the one more point that they had from earlier. The last possession only tallied 1 on the ticker. So as a result, they went from trailing from 3, and now they only trail by 2. 2 behind this no-name side at 19-18 after the make by Ann. Emma gives it over to Patricia. Patricia gives it over to May. Oh, once again, ends up losing it. Quick pass to Ann. Oh, it gets picked off once more. It's by Patricia. Patricia now leading the break. Goes up 1-2. Flips it over to the corner. Madison back out to Emma. You can't leave her open for 3, but it doesn't fall. Patricia loses out there to Ann on the board. Ann has it. You can take the screen from Carrie. Then Carrie just pops back out after Ann loses her dribble. And Carrie now looking to dictate the offense. Ball goes up, doesn't get won by Melissa. Instead, Lucy's the one that walks away with it. Lindsay goes up, little crossover. Pump fake goes up. It's all about the footwork when it comes to her style of play. And that just shows it right there. 3 minutes remaining in this one. It's 21-18 now. Beast launches with 3 from her own. Doesn't get her to go. Off long. Matt. Oh, Emma gives it over to Maddie. Maddie swings to the corner. Patricia, and a 3 gets taken. No go. Back out to Emma, who's wide open for 3. She's short again. Patricia pulls it in. Thinks about the scramble. Back out to Lindsay. Lindsay goes up with it, and Lindsay gets the make there. She says, okay, fine, let's get the show on the road, guys. As she tacks on 2 more here for the no-name side. Beast gave it up to Melissa, and Melissa tried giving it inside on the slip pass, but in the end it gets ruled a travel. Sarah coming on now for Patricia. Jalika coming on alongside Christina and Valerie in exchange for the Pastrana sisters in Nabil and Ann, and for Melissa. Ball inside of May. May with a little pass once more, gives it over to Madison. Maddie the corner, the jump shot doesn't go. May pulls it in though. And is able to tack on 2 here on the free lay-in after the miss. Dynasty looking for an answer, looking for the solution. Jalika thinking about it, ends up swinging long at Carrie. Carrie behind the back pass to Jalika, just doesn't fall. Jalika launches for 3, doesn't go. Now gives it over to Beasts. Now 1 minute left in this first. Beast swings in Christina. Gives it inside there to Valerie, who converts for this Dynasty side to cut down to a 5-point deficit. Ball ends up in the hands of Emma Jonas, though short once more. Now May goes up with it. No, there's a foul that gets called. Wonder who gets called on here. Based off the high-fiving, I believe it's going to be LSU ball. Not LSU. They have the same colors as LSU. It's going to be no-name ball. First one to go does. As no-name able to score. Second one for May. Puts it up. Doesn't get it to go. Goes in and out. Lindsay goes up with it, though, and sits right that time. It's 28-20. 10 seconds remaining in this match. And by this match, I mean the first half. Ball goes to Carrie, who launches from 3, won't go. Picked up by Sarah. And Sarah's going to hold on. Not Sarah, apologize. I just mislooked there. I looked away real quick to make sure of the time, but no. It's Emma Jonas who pulls it in. And yes, no name going to lead into the half, 28-20. By their own standards, a bit of an underwhelming performance, but they're still showing the top quality that they possess. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, after a little moment, but we will be sitting for halftime. No Name lead Dynasty 28-20. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another second half action here for the WMBA. Dynasty scored right away to start the second half, and No Name now look to respond here in this second half. There's not really much else to add apart from that. Instead, they end up turning it over. Now it's going to be Ann on the transition. Ann gives it over to Valerie. Valerie dumps it inside to Melissa, who's able to get it, and the Dynasty tack on two more. Right now out there for the Dynasty side is Carrie, Melissa, and Valerie, and Neville. Meanwhile, for No Name at the moment, we have Robin, Patricia, Sarah, May, and Maddie on the court. May goes up, doesn't get her to go, and it ends up bouncing off of May's hands and go to bounce. May puts up her hands going, dude, I didn't touch it last. But the rest goes, you know what? You did touch it last. And you know what? There's not much else one can complain right there. Usually the refs calls the one that sticks. And we don't really got challenges or whatever they have now in the NBA here. And the three ball from Carey. And just like that, in 3 possessions, the Dynasty go from trailing by 8 to just trailing by 1. What a start to the second half it's been. Patricia now smothered by Melissa. Ann comes over. Oh no, but she stepped up too far, but the jumper from Sarah doesn't fall. It's gonna be Neville now. She's gonna be the one bringing it up. She sees Ann on the side, ends up getting roped up, stringed up. But the ball is last touched by a No Name player, so Dynasty will be retaining it. So even though the fast break has stopped, it's still on the attack for this Dynasty team. They're going right at it. And she lost it off the back of the defender. She thought it was going to be cheeky, and it would have been, but sadly isn't able to get the make. That would have been a great play. Robin goes up with it on the other end, and No Name tack on 2 more points here to now extend it to a 3-point lead. Neville up and down on the travel. She thought about it. First the jump pass, and then just cannot get it going from there as No Name retake possession. Ball goes up from May, and she's able to score it there for the No Name side. And tries going long on Melissa, but in the end it doesn't go. And No Name will be regaining possession here. May has it now and is going to be giving it over to Maddie. Maddie to Sarah. Open. It's picked up by Robin. I guess they both thought the ball was going to them. In the end, it doesn't matter. Robin goes, oh, give me the handoff. Oop, nope. Oop, let's shovel it over here now. And May goes up with it and gets called. Foul on the shot. 2 free throws here for May Katsopoulos. She was the player of the game for the last no-name game. You can check it out on our Instagram, Megacity Basketball, or I believe it's a WMBA League. You can check out either of those links on our Instagram. It goes to show. Gotta be in the know, be in the know. You know what I'm saying? Gotta know, you know? I don't really know what I'm saying there. I'm kind of waffling, you can say. But no name tack on 2 as May hits both her free throws. And now the Dynasty's hot starting in the second half, starting to evaporate. They trail by 7. Melissa gives it over to Valerie. Valerie steps up, says, you know what, I'm launching for a jumper. Doesn't go. Melissa's the one that pulls it in. Melissa has it. Gonna give it back out to Valerie. Valerie thinks about the jumper, ends up going right into the teeth of the defense, goes underhand. Robin's the one that has it. Goes up. That one hit the rim. No dice, but it gets pulled in by May. Now the break's on. The break is on. Sarah has it, gives it over to Melissa, gets inside to Patricia. Patricia goes up with it. Bounce, doesn't fall. It doesn't fall there, and now the ref chooses to blow it. Apparently, I think it's something involving the clock. It's involving something. In the meantime, it's been a fun game up to this point, ladies and gentlemen. Between all sides here. 17:04 now. Beast on the ball, gonna give it over to Nabil. Nabil launches for 3 to answer, doesn't go. Picked up by Robin. Robin gives it over to Sarah. Sarah's the one running the break now. Could set up for 3. She's been electric from there. Chooses not to, gives it over to Patricia instead. Patricia has it. Trying to dribble around the defender, dump pass inside to Robin with a fader, doesn't go. Picked up by Carey, and now it's gonna be Beast running the transition. Beast kicks it out to Nabil. Nabil has it. What's she gonna do? Nabil back out to Melissa. Melissa squares up, launches from 3. Or is that just classified as a deep 2? It's classified as a deep 2. Is the call there for the Dynasty. Still a big shot to hit, though, as substitutions prepare themselves. Lindsay and Emma both preparing to come in. Great play there from Patricia, by the way. Great little spin and floating up. But yeah, for the no-name side, Lindsay and Emma both planning on coming on. Meanwhile, for Dynasty, Jalika looking like she will be coming on. Beast gives it over to Melissa. Melissa has a defender on her hip. No, ends up going off her foot once more, and this time it's going to be no-name ball. Who? No name. It's no-name ball. Who now bringing the possession. Subs being made on both these sides. Lindsay Shotbull and Emma Jonas both coming on in exchange for Maddie and May. As for the Dynasty side, Patricia goes up. Doesn't get to make, but now Lindsay goes up with it herself, and she's able to go and tuck it in to make it a 9-point game for the no-name side. Beast turns it over, a little bit too much mustard on the sandwich, some could say. You know what? When you're building something here, sometimes the condiments are just too much, guys. You put a little bit too much on it, it goes right over. Anyway. You need to have that sort of chemistry, and it's just not been there here in the second half for the Dynasty. They started off hot, and they've just gotten a little bit too cold now as no name really getting on their own. Robin has it. Oh, and goes up in the air. Doesn't get it to go. Robin with the miss, and now it's going to be Beast pulling in and give it over to Christina. Christina over to Jalika. Jalika on the court giving over to Val. Val with the swing pass. Thinks about it and going to dump it inside to Ann. Ann has it. Thinks, gives it over to Beast. Beast this time, gauging the power of the Beast. The pass sometimes has too much potency on it, as we've seen in this one. But now, Val's got to go up with it, puts it up, doesn't get it to go, rebounded by Emma. No. Yes? Kind of? She kind of deflected it over to Robin, and now Robin has it, gave it back to Emma. Emma to Patricia. Patricia inside to Lindsay with a great drop step and spin. As the no-name side tack on 2 more to make it a double-digit lead. Beast bringing it up. Thinks about it, launches for 3, draws the foul, and that's going to be 3 free throws here for the Beast. Wonderful take there, and being able to draw the foul does make it a fantastic play for him. The first free throw was no good. Now they respond here with the second one. Gets it to go. Does the Dynasty make it a 10-point game? Let's see if they can cut it down. They got that second one to go. Missed there, and now it's going to be Dynasty going out again. Emma going at it. Flips it over to Robin. Robin, they go up with it. Won't go. Now it's going to be Christina on the break. Christina on the break, giving over to Jalika. Jalika telling him, cut inside, give me somebody in the post. Instead, they're going to give it over to Val here up top. Up top, going to be swung out to the left-hand side of Christina. Christina with a dump pass to Ann, who puts it up, doesn't go, and rebounded by Robin. And now we have Emma Jonas. Emma, the one taking it up now. Emma into Lindsay. Lindsay! Foul gets drawn, but it's just going to be another inbound opportunity here for No Name. Robin and Sarah both coming off as May and Maddie both coming on back on for this No Name team. Emma swings it up top to May. May to Emma. Emma thinking about, do I pull it? Do I just pull it? No. Looks at the pass. Thinks about it for a moment, now kicks it over to Madison following the drive, won't go. It's going to be Beast. Beast going to be the one that recuperates, be able to bring in the ball. Swings it over to Neville, launches and gets it to go to tack on 2 more here. Dynasty hoping to bring it right back, crawl right into this one once more. I'm going to take the screen from Lindsay. Tries to find Lindsay once more and does! Wonderful incision pass there for this No Name team. Is now Dynasty looking to fight right back. Jalika swings it over to Val. I believe there was a travel call though. A foot got lifted, something of the sort, and now it's going to be No Name reaching position. Heartbreaking for Dynasty there to give up the ball there once more. Patricia to May. May to Lindsay. Lindsay ends up handing it off to Patricia, but in the end ends up becoming a turnover. Now it's Dynasty on the break once more. Dynasty drives around their team, goes up, goes down, goes all around. And it's going to be Christina now. They don't know with it. Gives it over to Beast, launches from 3, won't go. And it's going to be pulled in by Nikki Taku. It's now going to give it over to Patricia. Emma has it for 3, doesn't get her to fall. It's going to be Valerie who pulls it in, gives it over to Neville. Neville gives it over to Christina. Christina to Beast. Beast up top to Jalika. Jalika launches from 3, doesn't get it to fall. And the ball ends up squirming and finding its way out of bounds. Some subs being made. Ann, Carrie, and Melissa all coming on for Christina. Sorry, Ann's not the one coming on. Val and Christina coming off for Carrie and Melissa. Just 2 subs on that end. 2 free throws now in favor of the No Name side. specifically Lindsay Shopper. Let's see if she converts. First one. And, yeah, she gets it to go. I'm sorry, in the second one she gets it to go. She missed the first one. A lot of mistakes today on broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. I want to apologize for that. Got to lock in, so to say. Melissa the Beast. Beast has, oh my God, almost falls over, but able to stay up. Isn't able to get the make, though. And apologies, I ended up putting the score on the wrong team here. There we go. Now it's all set up. It's only a 10-point game. Patricia gives it over to Emma. Emma Jonas, she launches from 3. Won't go. Back out to Emma, though. Fakes, gives it over to Maddie. Maddie inside of Lindsay. Lindsay going to work on carry. Tough little jumper. Gets fouled, and 2 free throws now for Lindsay. As she makes her way over to the line. Timeout gets called here before we get to see the free throws. So we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with some free throws for Lindsay Schoppel on the no-name side. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. She gets the second one to go. Once again, not able to convert on the first. Oh my God. And once again, I did it on the wrong key. Man, oh man, I've just not been switching adequately, ladies and gentlemen. It's been hard to broadcast and get the switching right, and today's just really been showing how detrimental it's been for me. But you know what? It's not been detrimental. It's been not detrimental for this no-name side. Megacity looks open for 3, but yeah, no-name are one of the best teams. They are the best team in the league right now for a reason, and they're showing right here, even in a game where it's just not hitting, just not falling, how it usually does for them, they're still the ones with their foot on the gas pedal, setting the tempo and leading the way in this entire match. Melissa goes up with it and gets up getting fouled by Lindsay Schoppel. 2 free throws on the way here for this Dynasty side. Robin coming on for Lindsay. And Emma's going to stay on. Well, I think Patricia's getting off for Sarah. And coming on the court, I believe, in exchange for her sister in Neville. Bringing it up now is Emma. Emma to May. May. Screen taken by Robin. May chooses to set up from 3. Spots up, goes up, doesn't get it to go. Blocked! My goodness! A block there, and it remains Dynasty ball following the block. And driving in, thinking about it. Kicks it now over to Jolika. Jolika covered by Madison. Jalika tries to toss it inside the Beast instead it gets swatted out. But I believe it will still remain being no-name ball. Fader from Beast doesn't fall, and it gets pulled in by Robin. Robin launches up to Emma. Emma now bringing it up. 1-2, nice little step, but it doesn't sit right on the rim. And now it's Melissa who comes in when May cannot secure it. And again, on the outlet pass, just too long, and Carey cannot hold on. Carey cannot get there, and it's going to be no-name ball once more. Emma gives it over to Sarah. Sarah inside to Robin. Robin posting up Carey with the fader now. It doesn't go. Picked up by Melissa. Beast loses the dribble now. Gives it inside to Jalika. Jalika pumps out one. Steps back for a jumper. Doesn't get her to fall. Picked up by Carey. Carey garners the miss. Goes up and one. And one there for the Dynasty, as Carey can make it a 3 the old-fashioned way. As they started really hoping and pushing, we'll see how they're able to respond with 3:43 remaining in this match. Second free throw by Carey doesn't fall. It's 44-36. Ball to Emma. Emma Jonas. Swarmed by Ann and Melissa gets picked off by Ann. And with the energy, gives it over to Carey. Carey goes up with it, doesn't get it to go, and now it bounces around once more. And this time it goes out of bounds. It will remain Dynasty ball though, following the tip away from Robin. Lindsay says, you know what, I'm coming back in. Subs in for Maddie. Ball inbound with the Beasts. Beast to Carey. Carey launches from 3. No go, no dice. Robin's the one that ends up finding the scrambled ball, the loose ball. Coming out of May. May's out of Lindsay. Lindsay back out to May. What a massive jumper that was from Melissa, as the Dynasty answer right back to continue closing this gap. They're going, ooh, they're getting close. It's still only a 5-point deficit though. We'll see if they're able to fully call it back. Lindsay gives it now to May. May right at the top of the defense goes up with it. No dice, no foul, no nothing. And Beast the one that is the one corralling it. Beast to Jalika. Jalika with a home run ball cross court to Carey. No dice. And now it's going to be Robin on the board. Robin on the kick out. It's going to be Sarah bringing it up. Tries to find Robin on the inside. Instead it's going to be ruled a reach-in foul, as No Name retained possession here with sub 2 minutes remaining on the clock. May now over to Emma. Emma to Robin. Robin with a 1-2 goes over there. Money gets it to go for the No Name side. Neville bringing it up. She's going to see what she does here. Still with a dribble, launches up this time. Doesn't go for Neville. And now they're running the break. May with a quick pass over to Lindsay Schaffel, who connects. Carey inside now. Dumps it back over to Melissa. Loose ball. Beast able to keep it inside, but now he gets picked up by May. May says, thank you very much. I'm running the transition. Draws the foul from Jalika. And it's 2 free throws now for the No Name side on behalf of May Pitsopoulos. May with 2 chances here. First one. Bunny. Second one here from May. Guess it'll go no problem. 2 from the charity stripe for the no-name team. Dynasty need to lock in. Beast gives it over to Carey. Carey crosses over, dumps it inside, gets tipped around. Beast pulls it in instead after the tip around, puts it up and cut the lead back down to 9. Lindsay bringing it up, gives it over to Beast. No! Well, yes, Lindsay did give it over to Beast. Sorry, turned it over to Beast. It was so second nature. I was like, yeah, you know, they just passed it over to Beast, whatever. Wait a minute. They're not on the same team. Apologies for the nice little fun noises. We were having some enjoyment over here with this broadcast. Under a minute left, 9-point game in favor of the no-name side, and it does seem they're going to be able to hold on and extend their winning streak to 7 games in a row, 8 if you're counting the championship from last year. And they're undefeated, so we'll see how they're going to continue this into next week. Ball goes up, no dice. And now, it's going to be no-name with the ball. Time is clicking down. And figuring it out. Ball goes up to Emma. She misses. Reveals the one running the tempo now. Comes out of Beast. Beast sets her feet. Launches from 3! What a massive shot that was for the Dynasty. They're saying it's not over yet, but it goes over the defender. It goes to Emma. Emma goes up with the open lay-in. Says, yep, it just might be over. And it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the game ends there. No name continue their undefeated run of the season as they managed to pull together a 52-44 win over the Dynasty. Dynasty fall now to 2-5. And our next game, final game of the slate, guys, is going to be the winless Supremes, who will be gunning for their first win of the season. They're taking on the 5-1 La Famillia squad. So don't go away, as it's full time here for No Name Dynasty. We will be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the third and final game of this week's slate of WMBA games, as we have the Supremes. They're gunning for their first win on this season. We'll see if they're able to do so and win here off the bat. Blocked by Jalen off the rip. Oh my goodness. That's bringing the electricity off the rip. I didn't even get to do the full intro. Did not even get to do the full intro. So on that note, we have the Supremes. They haven't won a game. This is another block by Jalen again. My goodness. 2 blocks from Jalen there to begin. And it's been sloppy here. Ball gets tipped down. And are they going to maintain possession here for La Familia? I think they might. Yes, they will. It's been hectic. That's all I can really say on a hectic start here. But as I mentioned, the Supremes yet to win a game this year, and they're hoping that today will be the day they finally get it. Meanwhile, La Familia looking to keep pace with No Name and move on to 6-1 as the clear second best team in the league. We'll see how it goes as the Supremes. Oh, Mariah went up, didn't get it, but it was just kind of a pass off the glass for the Supremes, as they're the first to strike blood in this game against La Familia. Out there right now for La Familia, we have Sienna, who's the one who takes the shot, no dice. Along with her, we have Jalen, Anne Marie, Korn, and Leticia. Meanwhile, for Supremes, Shay's the one that had that jumper, doesn't get her to go. Mariah's the one that rebounded it, and also it was Sydney, Allie, and Rebecca out there on the court as well for Mariah. Launches from 3, gets it a go, as the Supremes are out to a fast one to begin this game. Let's see how La Familia responds. Leticia gives it over to Sienna. Sienna has Shay stepping up on the post. Goes up with a little post move. Tough bounce around, won't go. And it ends up in the hands of Rebecca. Rebecca's now running the break. She going right at the hoop, goes right at Leticia and gets it a go, as the Supremes starting off hot today. And right as I say that, Jalen had 2 blocks to begin with, and now tacks on 3 to make it a 4-point deficit for La Familia. They're not out of this one just yet. Shay gets it and answers from 3. Why not? How to answer from an opponent's 3? Answer with one of your own. And yes, Supremes are coming out firing in this one. Korn launches and answers back with one of her own. We are having a showing, a barrage, so to say. And man, it's going to be fun to see if it keeps up this game. Shay has it, gives it over to Allie. Allie slows down the tempo. The team, they're playing, see what they do. Leticia steps up on Allie. They give it over to Rebecca. Rebecca over to Mariah. Mariah dumps inside to Sydney. Sydney back out to Allie. Allie tries to keep it in bounds, but no dice. Now Jalen will be inbound, and they give it over to Leticia. Leticia now bringing it up here on the left side of the court. Let's see how she does. Goes at it 1-2, flips it over to Sienna, puts it in. Let's go for Sienna. And now they're going to be hoping to bring it back here for La Familia. But how will the Supremes respond? Rebecca gives it over to Mariah. Mariah already hit one earlier. This one goes up, no good, and Anne Marie's the one that pulls it in. Jalen now running the transition, running the break. Has the team on her side, flips it over to the corner. You have Korn in the corner, but they decided to go to a trip all the way on vacation. It's spring, ladies and gentlemen, almost going to be summer. And of course, we're going to have Summer League. And if you want to be a part of that, check out megacitybasketball.com to make sure you can potentially be playing in either the men's leagues, women's league, or even in the youth programs that we have here at Megacity. We're celebrating 15 years, ladies and gentlemen. So you don't want to miss out. Be sure to register if you can. Shove in the back right there is called against the Supremes, and it will be La Familia ball following that turnover. Leticia will be inbounding, gives it over to Jalen. Taking it up here with some tempo. Takes the screen with Korn. No, goes right at him. Steps up, gives it over to Anne Marie. Anne Marie takes one gathered dribble, ends up losing it though, but it goes out of bounds and it gets ruled out on La Familia. Supremes inbounding. Mariah gives it to Rebecca. Oh my God, it got picked off by Sienna, but Mariah is able to keep possession and gives it over to Shea. Shea makes it rain from 3 as the Supremes add to their lead. Leticia goes right to the defense. It ends up hitting Shea, but after it hits Shea, it bounced off Leticia, and now Leticia's coming over and going, hey, wait a minute, it bounced this way. And they're arguing, they're going back and forth. How is the call going to be? Who knows? Either way, Michaela subs on for Shea in regards for this Supreme side, and it does seem like the La Familia team is going to be keeping it there. Their allegations, begging, so to say, ends up going. But they don't get to make. Rebecca there, able to pull in the board, gives it over to Allie. Allie goes over, then won't go. And now Jalen has it. Jalen's running the transition. Has to slow it down a little bit here as the defense starts to collapse on her. Thinks about it, gives it over to Leticia. Leticia with a quick sidestep there. How she's trying to set this one up. Launches from 3, doesn't get her to fall. Cyan almost wins it and says it's going to go to Michaela. Michaela gives it over to Mariah. Mariah has it, slows it down, gives it to Rebecca. Rebecca to Michaela, puts it up, won't go. Rebounded by Leticia. They're going to want to play fast here, try to make sure they can accumulate some points here. Tries to lob it over the defender, but it's just a little bit too long. Over the head of Sienna. Michaela now has it at the top of the key, lobs it inside to Mariah. Mariah through 2 defenders, goes up, a crazy lay-in and 1! That's called getting it the tough way, the hard way, and that's the way you want to see it go. I see Mariah can make it a 3-point play, does just that, as the Supremes lead by 8, 15 minutes remaining. Jalen has it after the pass from Leticia, puts it up from 3, doesn't get it to go, and now it's going to be Allie. Allie leading the break. What is she going to do? Loses it for a moment. And as it bounces around, who got possession? La Familia will be the ones with possession? No. Actually, it's going to be the Supremes with possession. Kiki subs on for Sydney. And now Kiki gets to get a shot off immediately. Doesn't get her to fall, though, and Anne-Marie's the one that pulls it in. Corn covered by Kiki. Kiki to Jalen. Has the defender all over her with the fader on the opposite leg. Just doesn't fall. Mariah now leading the charge. Lays it off to Kiki. Kiki with the jumper, doesn't get it to go, but with the putback, it's Allie. Allie with the putback here as the Supremes now gain a double-digit lead. So stoppage in play right now. Row coming on for Rebecca. Leticia now driving in, flips it over to Jalen. Jalen open for 3, launches, just doesn't fall, picked up by Michaela. Michaela now flips it up to Allie. Allie to Mariah. Mariah dumps inside to Michaela, and that's a great play, just no finish, sadly. Oh, but Allie able to keep it going. Absolute dog in her there, able to maintain it. And they will still be inbounding here for the Supremes. They've come out swinging with their foot on the gas pedal. And that's fantastic to see for them. They're really hungry for that first win on the year. Michaela thinks about it, gives it over to Roberta. Roberta bounce pass inside to Allie. Won't go on her. Instead, it's going to go to Mariah. Mariah to Kiki. Kiki with the jumper, doesn't get it. And Roberta's going to go up and score it. And that's 2 more points for the Supremes. Jalen now going to go up with it. Tough lay-in as it swirls in. Swirls all the way around as it goes in. That's wonderful to see from that side. La Familia. The Supreme trying to get it out quick, but La Familia able to be the ones that intercepted. Jalen's the one that ends up pulling it in. And Kiki falls on her, but in the end, the ball is secured in La Familia possession. Looks like Rebecca's going to be ready to sub in now for Supremes. We'll see how they do. Leticia taking the screen by Sienna. Leticia dumps it off over to Jalen. In the incisive pass by Jalen gets tipped. And after a little bit of a scramble, Michaela's the one that has it. And the scramble continues. A little bit of a hook there from Michaela going, oh, what the heck? Did I travel? Did I not? And they're going with the ref. The ref goes, it's a foul, girl. That's just how it be. And you know what? There's no way to argue with the ref in those cases. You got to agree with just how it goes sometimes. Shay comes on with Rebecca as Mariah and Allie come off for the Supremes. What a fantastic start it's been for them. Leticia now. Pump fakes, thinks about it, gives it over to Korn. Korn launches with the jumper, won't go, rebounded by Shay. Shay now running the transition, gonna swing it up to Roberta and gets it to go. Thank you very much, she says. Time out called here as the Supremes lead by 12, ladies and gentlemen. 10:48 remaining. We'll be right back, but the Supremes are coming right at them. Back from the short break, La Familia have it. Jalen loses her dribble, and we'll be giving it up to Sienna. Sienna over to Korn now. Korn looking for a look, gives it over to Jalen. Jalen's left wide open, launches from three, and is able to get it to go. Thank you very much, he says. Can't count out La Familia. They're 5-1 for a reason, and just a very, very good all-around side. But the Supremes really are hungry for this first win of the season. Michaela goes up all around them. Wonderful post footwork there by Michaela, and it really just demonstrates it. Korn puts up the jumper, doesn't get her to go. Kiki tries slapping it. They're pointing, saying, hey, bounced off of Kiki. They'd be right. The ref always manages to crack me up. Shout out the referee. Jalen puts it up once more from three, won't go, and it's gonna be Rebecca who pulls it in. Leticia coming over to put pressure. Doesn't get it. Gives it over to Roberta. Roberta into Michaela. Michaela jumps from the midi, doesn't get it to fall, and it's gonna be falling now for Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie leads it to Korn. Korn looking to size up Roberta and says he's going to give it over to Leticia, who launches from three herself, in and out. Doesn't get her to fall. Michaela isn't able to snag the board, but it does fall to her teammate Roberta. Rowe now has a double team here. It's going to be Sienna all over him. Korn able to keep it in possession. It's Sienna on the break, goes up with it and gets it to go. Wonderful play there from La Familia to be able to keep it in possession. Korn almost able to intercept it from Shay. Leticia now on Shay. They're going to go over to Roberta. Rowe gave it to Rebecca, who gives it to Michaela, who's able to get it to sit just right on the rim. Leticia now. Screen on the left-hand side. Flips it over to Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie to Korn. Korn goes up 1-2, puts it up, doesn't get her to go. But it does seem like a foul was called. Yeah, 2 free throws here for Korn. Jalen coming off now for Nams. Nams coming on for Jalen, and Kiki going to be getting subbed off here for Sydney. Free throw from Korn, gets the first to go. Let's see if she can secure the second one. Easy to go. Rebecca sizing up her defender, goes right past her, blow by. Wonderful play there from the Supremes. The size up really got Leticia there, as now the Supremes extend their lead once more back to double digits. Sienna has a defender at her hip, ends up handing it off to Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie dumps it inside, doesn't get it to go. Doesn't get it to go in an simple spot for Nams, who ends up losing it there. However, it was just knocked out. They will retain possession. Nams gives it to Leticia. Leticia drives in, won't go, gives it over to Korn. Korn has it now. Puts it up, doesn't go. Bounces around, Sienna pulls it in and gets it to go for La Familia. Rebecca passing to Michaela. Michaela through all the defenders in the middle, gets stripped. There goes Korn. Korn bringing it up now in the transition. What is she going to do? Slows it, slows it, slows it. Gives it over to Nams. Nams calls for Leticia here. They're running a little bit of a handoff. Potentially double screen here with Korn. No. Ends up sticking there with Roberta. Smothering Leticia here. He beats the defender though. Gets Michaela in the air. Gives it over to Korn, who launches for three. Won't go. Now it's going to be Sydney who pulls it in. Sydney the one running the break, bringing it up quick. Tosses it over to Roberta. Roberta launches from deep 2-point range. The long midi doesn't fall. Sienna pulls it in, gives it over to Nams. Nams says, you know what, I'm going to step up for three. Who's going to stop me? And just a shot does not fall. So I guess you stopped yourself. But either way, that's just what it is sometimes. Sometimes you just can't buy that shot in basketball. And that's been the case here for La Familia. They've just not been able to get it going. On the flip side for the Supremes, though, they've looked phenomenal. Leticia bringing it up now for La Familia. Dumps it to Korn. Korn thinking about it, swings it to the corner where we have Nams. Nams covered by Mariah, swings it to Korn. Korn thinks about it, one. Dribble, goes up, doesn't fall. Rebounded by Michaela, handed off to Mariah. Mariah now taking it up behind the back pass to Rebecca. Rebecca to Michaela. Michaela goes up with it, and the Supremes do just that. Big bucket there from the Supremes. Back to a double-digit lead after they've cracked 30 in this one. Korn covered by Sydney. Takes a double screen. Now it's going to be Mariah on her thanks to the switch. Pass over to Nams. Nams going to give it over to Leticia. Leticia thinks about it here. Covered by Rebecca. Puts it up. Gets it to go! A massive three by Leticia Lopez. Leti with a massive one there. Great to see from her. Rebecca sizing up Nams. Going to give it over to Mariah. Mariah beats Korn on the dribble. Gives it over to Michaela, though, who's now covered by Nams. Gives it to Sydney. Sydney with a fader! And a massive shot made there from Sydney to bring it back to double digits as it's 22 in favor of the Supremes. Nam steps back, puts up a three of her own, but the bounce just isn't lucky. Shea's the one that pulls it in. Gives it to Michaela. Michaela now hands it over to Mariah. Mariah from the midi gets it to go. And the transition, maybe not the smoothest, but the ball got down the court and the ball ended up in the net. So you really cannot get on him for it. Leticia to Nams. Nams thinking about it. Has a curling Leticia. Leticia almost gets picked off by Rebecca, but does get picked up by Rebecca. A little coverage there. It's going to be Anne-Marie who tries to lob it inside to Sienna, who's able to get it to go. She does just that, tacking on two more. Rebecca gives it to Mariah. Mariah goes up with it, but gets blocked. It's popped out by Leticia as it will remain Supreme's ball. Ball goes up there for Ali, who's able to find her way onto the score sheet once more. Bucket made there for La Famiglia. Oh my God, my key just did not register the La Famiglia second point there, but I did see the Supremes go up once more. Sienna puts it up, gets fouled, and now a chance to tack on two more here in her favor, in La Familia's favor. Sienna's first free throw isn't able to get it to go. Let's see if she can convert the second one. Does just that there for La Famiglia. Make it 38-27. Right, taking it up, takes the screen by Michaela, dumps inside to Ali. Great read, it just doesn't go. Gets swatted out by Sydney, but it gets picked up by Anne-Marie. Corey now has it, looking for a teammate. Dumps it over to Leticia. Leticia gives it over to Nams. Nams back out to Leticia. Leticia open for three. Able to do just that. As La Famiglia now cut it to 8. Ali now thinking about it. Dumps it into Michaela, but it seems like there was a foul there with the contact with Nams. But they do the camaraderie. Are you okay? Yes, I got you. And they help each other up. And that's what you like to see here within the Megacity community. People looking out for each other here on the court. It's lovely to see. Mariah inbounds now to Michaela. Michaela goes up with a tough lay-in as the Supremes tack on two more. What a first half it's been for this Supreme side. Under 1 minute left. Nams. Oh, Mariah's the one with the steal once more. Gives it up to Ali. Ali has Sydney. Sydney's able to pull in from the miss. Goes up once more. Isn't able to convert it. Anne-Marie pulls it in, though. Gonna give it to Nams. Nams back over to Leticia. Leticia open for three. She launches. Won't go. Rebounded by Michaela. Running the break. Gives it to Mariah. Mariah sitting here says, you know what? I'll take the long two. Doesn't get her to go, though. Picked up by Ali. Into Michaela with the fader. It sits on the rim just like that. And that's two more for the Supremes. Under 20 seconds left. In fact, it's almost 10 on the clock now. They're going to try to hold for the last shot. Nam's going to give it over to Leticia. Leticia to Korn. Korn launches for three. Won't go. Falls to Michaela. And Michaela isn't able to get down court. Nice little long shot. Doesn't get it from the midcourt, though. As we enter our halftime, ladies and gentlemen, the Supremes lead 42-30. Let's see if they're able to hold on to their 12-point lead and secure their first win on the season. We'll be right back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, here. Supremes lead big as they start off with the ball here in the second half. Ball tipped around. Ends up being La Familia ball. To start off this second half for La Familia, we have Keisha on the ball right now, along with Nams. We have Sienna, Korn, and Jalen out there right now for La Familia. Meanwhile, for the Supremes, who've been playing very, very well, we got Kiki. Alongside Kiki, we have Mariah, Ali, Michaela, and Rebecca. So let's see it here. Do the Supremes continue their fantastic start? The pass inside to Michaela, just a little bit too tall, a little bit too high. As now the ball once again falls into the hands of La Familia. Nams tries to get the bounce pass inside, doesn't get it to fall. Now it's going to be Ali. Ali on the great transition pass to Mariah, who's able to get her to go. First points of the second half go to the Supremes. Keisha now flips it over to Nams. Nams squares up, launches from range, doesn't go, misfire, rebounded though by Jalen. Going right to the teeth of the defense with the fadeaway on the spin. Doesn't get it to fall. Ali pulls in the board. Gets it knocked out by Nams, but it does keep the possession. And now it's getting sandwiched by this team. Ali's going, are you serious? Jalen helps her up, says, hey, it's just how it is sometimes. But you know what? High fives, no high fives, just how it is here with these players. A lot of contact, but the Supremes maintain with possession. Mariah drives in with on Sienna, gives it over to Kiki. Kiki kicks it back out to Mariah. Mariah goes in on him with the reverse lay-in, doesn't go. Ball's on the ground. It's a scramble. Korn's the one that comes out of the pile with the ball. Let's see if that's what it's going to be here after the inbound. Yes, it will be. It will be La Familia ball here at the inbound. Keisha gives it now to Nams. Nams looking to drive on Sienna with who set the screen, but no, it gets picked off by Kiki there on the pass. Gives it to Mariah. Mariah tries to dump it inside into Michaela. Michaela says, I'm going to take it from the midi. No go. Ali's the one that pulls it in, though, off the rebound, and the second chance point goes here to the Supremes as they continue to grow their massive lead. Keisha driving out on Sienna. Kicks it out to Korn. Korn goes up with a floater, doesn't get it to fall, and the shots are just not falling today for La Familia. They are running a nice full court press, putting as much pressure as they can on the Supreme side. But Supremes, they're the ones running the show right now. They're not going to budge. Rebecca puts up the jumper, doesn't get it to go. Rebounded by Michaela over her defender. And the Supremes tack on two more. Substitution being made. Seems there was something involved in the contact. Who knows what it is here with Korn and them, but it is going to be Leticia coming on for Korn. Meanwhile, here for the Supremes, Kiki subs off along with Ali, and coming on is going to be Roberta, as they say in my country, and Shay. There is no Spanish phonetical way of saying Shay apart from Shay, but Shay's also on the court here for the Supremes. We're having a little fun here in the booth with it as a whole. Supremes now bringing it up. It's going to be Rebecca with it on her. Michaela go, hey, we saw right there getting pushed in the back by Nams, but here's how it is. Going to go to set the screen with Sienna. Switch here on Nams. Nams gets physical on Shay, but no, Shay maintains it, gives it over to Roberta. Roberta to Mariah, who launches from three. Doesn't get it to go. It bounces around, ends up in the hands of Leticia. Leticia now bringing it up. Almost gets popped out there by Roberta, but no dice. Leticia gives it over to Jalen. Pulls up from three, won't go. Picked up by Rebecca on the glass. Long three just doesn't fall, and that's just how it's been for them so far in this one. Ball gets popped out, but ends up in the hands of Mariah. Mariah to Michaela. Michaela, it just spins around and doesn't get the proper bounce off the glass or the rim for it to really fall. Leticia now ended up giving it to Keisha. Keisha to Jalen. Jalen. Thinking about what she's going to do with it. Ends up ISOing, launching from three. Call the bank, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to make a bank account with that because it seems that it's open right now. Definitely will be doing so later on. The supreme answer with another 2 points there inside. Big three there from Jalen, though, to help close the gap a little bit for La Familia. Nams lays it off now to Sienna. Gives it over to Jalen. Jalen putting the defense on her hip. Oh, great little dump pass now to Sienna. Tack on 2 points here for La Familia. Michaela tries to get it inside to Roberta. Roberta tries to do her best tightrope act on the baseline, but it doesn't fall. I can say, though, pretty good forward there. Almost was able to stay on. Sadly ended up touching the line, which is out of bounds. But with the way they were able to keep it going, though, Roberta might want to try out for Cirque du Soleil. I heard that they're coming to town soon, so that's going to be a fun little showing. Nams launches from three, won't go. Shea's the one that pulls it in. Now going to dump it over to Rebecca. Rebecca has Sienna all on her right side. Says, I'm going to give it to Sydney on my left side. Doesn't get the make. Sienna pulls in the board. Gives it to Jalen, bringing up this right-hand side. Jay, what are they going to do? Hezzies drives right at the defender. Draws a bunch of contact. And that's bowling. That just might be a strike. Well, a lot of contact there. People go down. It's very, very hectic. They're trying to help Roberta come up, though. Just how it be there through the contact. And it seems it's going to be 2 free throws for Jalen. No, just going to be an inbound play here for La Familia as they maintain possession. Sienna coming off for Anne-Marie. Keisha gives it over to Leticia. Leticia potentially scores up from three. Won't. Steps up, launches. In and out, doesn't fall. Picked up by Shea. Shea thinks about it, gives it over to Rebecca on her quick right side. Rebecca dumps it to Michaela. Massive presence in today's game has made a huge impact for this Supreme side. And I mean, that's what happens when you get a center, a proper center to really beat and bang in this game. And it's demonstrated. Michaela's been a fantastic player, really opened up the game, really, for everybody on the Supreme side, and it's been showing in this game. They've been controlling every aspect of it. Jalen pulls up with the ball, though, following the miss. Able to kick it out to Leticia on the transition, won't fall. Shea's the one that pulls it in, lobs it up. Going to Michaela. Michaela gives it over to Sydney. Sydney swings it over to Roberta. Roberta back inside of Michaela. Michaela pulls up front of the mid-range. Thank you very much, she says. Leticia goes up. No. Kicks it out to Jalen instead. Pulls up from three, won't get it to go. Shea's the one that pulls it in, gives it up to Michaela. Michaela has it, has Nams on her right-hand side, and that's a carry over the top. Even I saw that here in the booth. Unfortunate play that was with the carry, but it is what it is in this one. They're still leading by almost 20, so they can't be too frustrated with that style of a call. Keisha gives it over to Leticia now. Leticia looking for a defender here on the right-hand side. So we'll take the screen by Anne-Marie. Sets up here on the left, on the right elbow. Finds Jalen. Jalen goes up with a runner. Doesn't fall, but gets her own miss. Gives it over to Korn. Korn, who came on for Nams. But Jalen ends up drawing the foul, following the contact. So now Keisha will be able to inbound. Keisha inside to Anne-Marie. Goes up. Doesn't fall. It doesn't fall. But Jalen, though, able to pick it off. Fakes a jumper. Steps up big. And now that's been great movement, but no! Korn goes up with it, and Shea swats it out of bounds. What could have been a fantastic play on the transition for La Familia turns to heartbreak. Jalen leaves it now to Leticia. Leticia thinks about it and now drops it up to Keisha. Keisha draws the contact, gives it over to Korn. Korn. Does she draw the foul? No, the foul is going to be a blocking foul on Roberta. And La Familia now maintain possession. Jalen to Leticia, and then Leticia gives it over to Keisha. Keisha launches on the jumper, doesn't get her to fall, and it ends up in the hands of Roberta. Roberta gives it over to Rebecca, as we have Ali looking to sub in now for La Familia. Michaela thinks about it and just takes it from the midi. Why not? She's been the hot hand today. Doesn't fall though, and now it's gonna be Leticia. Leticia steps up, slows down the tempo, gives it over to Jalen. Jalen says, I'm just going to pull up from three. She's been hitting her shots today, but this one just doesn't join that group. Nice pickoff, though. Very great awareness from Korn to be able to tip it over to Keisha, who scores there as La Familia tack on two more. Shea has it, gives it over to Michaela. Michaela goes up, goes around, and it's a tough lay-in, but she gets it to go. To tack on two more. Leticia now to Korn. Korn sets up, launches from three, doesn't fall. And now it's going to be Rebecca. Rebecca going to launch it up to Sydney. Sydney gives it over to Roberta. Roberta back inside of Sydney. Sydney with a tough lane, doesn't get it to go, but gets her own miss. Pulls up again, and she might have been hacked there. Or if not, it's just going to be a ball that got knocked out of bounds. No, did get hacked there. So two free throws coming up for Sydney. Jalen getting subbed off here in exchange for Sienna. Meanwhile, for La Familia, Ro and Michaela both coming off in favor of Ali and Kiki. First free throw here by Sydney. It's a big make. Let's see if she can get the second one. Second one for Sydney. You bet. She got it. Sydney was going to get subbed off and does after making her two free throws, and it will be Mariah coming on for her. La Familia looking to respond. 9 minutes left. Who knows what happens, but still very, very much anyone's game. Leticia goes up, pulls from the elbow, gets the bucket to go for La Familia to tack on two. Rebecca up to Mariah. Great little slip pass to Ali, but it doesn't fall. Kiki ends up trying to pull it in. It gets swatted out. And now it is going to be La Familia ball. Doesn't go the way of the Supremes. They're falling the tip that caused it to go out of bounds, but regardless, it is how it is in that scenario. Korn bringing it up now. That hurt my jaw. There's moving there, a little spasm. That's whatever. That's just a little side commentary. Tough miss there from La Familia. And now Supremes bring it fast, bring it home, and tack on two more. That one on behalf of Ali. Korn swings it long to Leticia, but no one's there. It seemed like it was intended for Leticia, but it just wasn't falling. Ali goes up through the defense and gets it in. Ball goes up, no dice. Kiki's the one that pulls it in, though, gives it over to Mariah. Ball goes up for Kiki, doesn't get it to go. Michaela pulls it in and goes up and in. Supremes continue their barrage. Leticia now sizing up Rebecca. Leticia, though, stops the dribble, gives it over to Sienna. Back out to Leticia. She launches for three. It doesn't go in. Mariah's the one that pulls in. Ball goes up, no dice. Allie's the one that pulls it in. Kiki puts it up once more. Nope, doesn't go in. Sienna now leading the break and to give it over to Corn. Corn 1-2, tries to get it, boing. Off the head of Mariah. She's now bringing it up on the break, though after it bounces off her head to force a turnover. Isn't able to go coast to coast, but it is Michaela who cleans up there at the rim. Ball goes long now to Allie. La Familia have not been able to get anything going on the offensive end, while the Supremes have been giving it everything. Don't take your foot off the gas has been their mentality. It swirls out for Mariah, but it falls to Kiki, who launches from the midi, and she gets there. Timeout gets called here in favor for La Familia. We'll be right back there, but the Supremes have just simply taken control of this match. My goodness, 5:36 remaining, and we'll be right back. Back, ladies and gentlemen. La Familia were able to get 2 points here, but isn't it really going to be enough, though? Mariah goes in, draws the foul, with a chance to get 2 more here at the charity stripe. Actually, no, apologies. No, it's a foul that is called against them. I thought it was a shooting foul, the way they celebrated for it, but no, in the end, it wasn't that way. Ball up to Allie. Michaela, it swirls out, no dice. Now Nam's the one bringing it up. Swings it up, nope, just out of reach of Corn, and subs will be made now. Sydney coming on for Allie. Man, oh man, it's gonna be honest, guys, I've been quite quiet here for a little moment, and it's really just taking this in, a massive win opportunity and a massive win that's gonna be for the Supremes. Another shooting foul call. The Supremes get a chance to tack on 2 more here at the line. There's 2:40 remaining in this game, ladies and gentlemen. You can say it's pretty safely that it's over, barring the greatest collapse in the history of sports, but I highly doubt that we're going to witness that, especially with the way that we running clock. Supremes tack on another. Let's see if Roberta can make it perfect from the line here. Isn't able to get it to go. Oh, but Mariah's the one that pulls in the board, misses it, puts it up again, gets that one. Leticia puts up for 3 and does just that. Roberta now bringing it up, slowing down the tempo. Sees Shea, thinks of it, now does give it to Shea. As Shea cuts, you have Nam, she's gonna pull from the mid, he doesn't fall, goes to Roberta though, who puts it up and in, and gets it to go there. Corn goes up with it, misses the lay-in, able to fight for it back though. Still fighting, out to Jalen in the corner, launches for 3, doesn't go, rebounded by Sienna, she doesn't go. It's gonna be over to Shea, who gives it to Roberta, who now on the break, it's Sydney. The fast high gun just doesn't go. And now Jalen's the one bringing it here. He gives it to Nams, who slips it through 2 defenders. Oh, but it gets popped out. It gets popped out. Now it's gonna swing over to Corn. Corn over to Leticia. Leticia sets her feet, launches for 3. Money! Couple massive shots here from Leticia late, but it's just far too late, ladies and gentlemen. Under a minute left in this one now. Mariah gonna give it over to Rebecca. Rebecca to Roberta. Roberta sets her feet, thinks about it. Now is gonna try to get an incisive pass to Mariah. Mariah back out to Shea. Shea's wide open for 3. It bounces up and in! Everything the Supremes have done this game have turned to gold. And we can say with certainty they're gonna be getting their first win of the season. Ball goes out of bounds. Leticia high five each other. They say it's all right. It is what it is. We can focus on next week. But man, oh man, the Supremes are walking into next week with their first win on the season. And man, it's got to feel good. Shea driving up, pulls it, gets it to go. Tack on 2 more, ladies and gentlemen. As this game's about to wind out, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. It's over. Ref calls it. Final score, Supremes 76. They just adjusted it to 76 to La Familia's 49. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a very hectic series of games to close out, but it's a joy for you to be able to watch. If you sat here and watched the whole broadcast, thank you very much. We missed the first game due to some issues involving the forfeit rules. However, ladies and gentlemen, next week, week 8, we're going to be having some fantastic basketball. Here at the Hoop Dome, I'm Julian Quintero Erano. Once again, thank you to Evan Rudenberg for handling the camera for us in this game. He was fantastic in this one. And we will be seeing you next week. Bye now.